Well, this is pretty embarrassing. Newsweek was forced to recall 125,000 copies of a special Madam President edition. Two versions were printed, one for Trump and one for Clinton. But only the Clinton version was sent to newsstands on election night. How'd that happen? Here now is Matt Cooper, political editor for Newsweek. Matt, it's great to see you.
It's great to see you, Tucker.
Thank you. So it was, look, I mean, everyone makes screw-ups like this, and I'm not here to mock you for that. It's the content of it that was unbelievable, and it was so unbelievable, actually, that I got to put it on the screen. I want to read part of the introduction to the Madam President edition. It describes this as the tone of the election grew darker and more bizarre by the day. President-elect Hillary Clinton went high when her opponent and his supporters went even lower. No stranger to trudging through the mire of misogyny in her career as First Lady, Senator, and Secretary of State. President Clinton managed to push for an issues-based campaign, even as a handful of Trump's deplorable supporters, seeing the wide margin she held among female voters, called for repealing the 19th Amendment. It goes on and on. Fear and hate-based conservatism. I mean, it's not even, it's breathless. It's not even hagiographic. It's pornographic. It's Soviet in his devotion to Hillary Clinton. Who wrote this?
It's embarrassing, and let me tell you how it happened and what we're doing to make sure it doesn't happen again. Newsweek, like a lot of publications, puts out special commemorative issues.
Yeah.
You've probably seen them on the newsstands, you know, 75th anniversary of D-Day,
yeah.
or we have one out about Harrison Ford's acting career. This is a big part of the magazine business now.
Yeah.
And what we did for the election was the company that we subcontract to, as you said in the intro, produced two editions. One, President Trump, the other,
right.
Madam President. They both, you know, the Madam President one mistakenly went out, which was the first embarrassment.
Yeah.
That should never have happened. And
but I can kind of see how it happened.
Yeah, but it can happen. But really, as you say, the writing in this is, shall we say, not up to the editorial standards of
pure throne sniffing. I mean, it's just like DNC talking points. So, I mean, who on your staff wrote that?
Well, no one on our staff wrote it. Again, we subcontract out to a company.
But when you read it before it went out, what did you say?
Well, no, we didn't, and that's part of the problem.
What do you mean you didn't read it before it went out?
See, we subcontract these commemorative issues to a company, and this is pretty common in the magazine business now. The company that does it for us, does stuff for Reader's Digest or Scientific
American. Wait, nobody read this before?
Well, let me just finish.
Okay.
This is a company that's done a lot of work for a lot of other magazines, Scientific American, CBS, Disney, all kinds of places, and they generally do good work. In this case, they really did not. And what we're going to do from now on is really take a look at these things. Even though we didn't, you know, over at regular news, we didn't put it out. You know.
That seems so reckless and crazy to let someone else take over your magazine and not even check what they're writing.
Yeah, well, again, it is a separate kind of track. But look, I hear you. It's got the Newsweek name on it.
Yeah, it's right here, Newsweek.
Ultimately, we're going to bear responsibility. Well,
so you've got this guy, Kurt Eichenwald, who works for you. He tweeted out in September this tweet. It says, I believe Donald Trump was institutionalized in a mental hospital for a nervous breakdown, which is why he won't release his medical records. No evidence of that at all. Newsweek wouldn't answer any questions about why he did that or back up his claim. And then they allowed him to keep covering the campaign. Why? That seems really nutty to me, making an allegation like that and not backing it up.
Well, I can't speak to that tweet. I don't know about it. Let me just say this. I mean, Kurt's done some incredible reporting for Newsweek, so I'm 100% behind what he's done in the magazine in terms of assessing through Donald Trump's finances. He did a great cover a few weeks ago about how Trump's organization had violated the Cuban embargo.
You can't really pass him off as a reporter, can you?
Well, look, I think his writing, speaks for itself, and people are going to have to judge it as it is. But I think for the stories, leaving tweets aside, I think judging from the stories in Newsweek,
Did he write this?
No. That was the.
Thousands of protesters have gathered in Moscow, lashing out against Prime Minister Vladimir Putin and his ruling United Russia Party. The unrest stems from widespread reports of ballot stuffing and irregularities in the vote count in Sunday's parliamentary election. Putin and his ruling United Russia Party lost a large share of its seats, but still maintained a majority.
I've come here because this country belongs to me. Young people are here because the elections were fraudulent and they don't want to live with thieves.
Similar anti-government demonstrators have been reported in at least 50 other cities in Russia. In New York, Ainsley Earhart, Fox News.